All right. So I think we are gonna be good to go. We're racing tonight. We got open boots with a bunch of mentees.
No.
I think. What?
You can hear a mom's thing.
No.
Let me spell that. I didn't hear you.
What's that? In one park?
No.
All four.
That's got to be impossible. Good for them. I'm not doing it. All right, so we are racing open boots, which I think is a beer league mode. So we're gonna get some practice in. I'm gonna ready up, and I think I'm the last one, so we're gonna get going. Booyah! So this will be good practice. We'll see how we do. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. Shake some rust off. The bloomerang to start. Yeah, we like bombs. We'll grab another set of those in the Lost Woods. Take a hit there. We got a hammer, baby. It's hammer time. Arrows, stun prize, whatever. You know, I kind of think we should do escape now. Alright, I definitely think we should do escape now. At least the front. So, Uncle Start rewarded. We gotta be a little bit careful, but we got the boomerang, which I should have used there. We can grab a heart. A couple of hearts up here, actually. So if this has something important, we're going to be in pretty good shape, I think. Of course, it could also have nothing, and we'll be in... Oh, not really trouble. It's too early to be in trouble. We might grab that. Alright, so we've seen a map. Keep the boomerang out so we can... Actually, it doesn't matter. We have the mirror. We're probably safe quitting out of here anyways. I think one of the last races I did actually died there, so... Alright, so not required, but not bad. Take an armor upgrade for sure. Alright, there's our key. Map check, we got a red crystal in desert. I think I have this set up as the wrong tracker. I might need to update that in a minute. I have this set up for a key sanity tracker, I think. Not the end of the world. Next time I save code, I'll probably fix it. Alright, so we want to kill this guy. Get some more bombs. Oh, we... Okay. I guess we really don't need the bombs. We do need that cash, though. Alright, do we have an Agaseed? Maybe not. Yeah, we want money. Not worried about that, though. Alright. So, definitely feeling good. There's our bomb tree pull. Alright, now we can get into the village. Do some damage. Big money. Big bombos. Okay. Alright. Even more money. We're good on money. Definitely good on money. That bottle's nice too, though. Okay. Just $5 off that bottle. So outside of bombos, nothing in the village really worth anything. Library is junk. Second bottle, not really worried. Let's update that tracker. And now we're good. Alright, so stun prize being arrows is nice. Not really worried about it until we get a bow. That's nice. Like seeing Samaria. I think that was Sankard. Just a 20 rupee on the desert ledge. That's both mail upgrades already, 10 minutes in. Alright, let's go check out. We have some density over here. There's our pearl, so we're a glove away from Dark World. We have tons of money. There's Dark World. Okay. Super early. Probably shouldn't be doing this, but it's fine. Alright, we're gonna fake flipper here. After we bonk. I just want to make sure we... Okay. So we're gonna leave Hobo for now. So the island is nothing. Alright, that's actually a good get. Single arrow, no thanks. So that means that Zora is cleared out. Alright, let's do some Dark World stuff. It's time, baby. Alright, do we know we had Desert as our 5-6? What's our other one? Pod. Swamp is a pendant. Skullwoods is green pendant, and Thieves is a pendant. Terrible pendant layout. The one dungeon we can clear fully is not even a green pendant. Okay. Okay, that's what I was hoping for, was a sword. Now we can do some stuff, man. Makes combat that much better. Makes dashing that much better, too. So we can actually check the shovel that's out of logic. Yeah, whatever. We checked it, it's fine. K-45 is junk. Could get that other bottle right here, but I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, whatever. Now we can head up here. We can check out that powder. That was in logic. Pretty sure. Let's see what the bat gives us. Bat gives us mitts. Okay. It doesn't open up a ton. It opens up the smith chain. But beyond that, it doesn't actually open anything for us at this point. Obviously, we need them, so it's good to have them, but... Alright, let's go south. Because I do want to get into Thieves. I have a feeling something's going to be there. Okay, another sword. Cool, cool, cool. I wouldn't hate a flute here. Flute here would be kind of cool. It would give us logical mountain access and get us around the world that much faster. It would open up the Mire area, which means we could get into desert. Still a fire source away from completing desert, but... Already 2 items. If we see a 3rd item, I might just bail. 2 items. It's very close. Alright, we're gonna keep going. I feel like there's something here. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. Gave us an early, fully clearable Thieves Town. I think it did it for a reason. Because logically, our only other checks are Smith Chain, maybe Back of Escape too. That has 3 items. Actually, might be a pretty good place to check after this. To be quite honest, dip in the front of Thieves and then end. We can check the north checks. Actually, I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea at all. We haven't seen a small key yet, so there's a chance we can skip the big chest, but there are 2 items left. If the next check is not the small key, then we're good. If it is a small key, then obviously we have to check the big chest. Really hope there's something good coming up. I mean, that's not bad. I was hoping for something required, but that's not bad. Alright, so 7 hearts, red mail, and a fairy. We should be just fine in this fight. Ain't even stressing. Any old sword will make the cut here. That's true. Alright, so just half magic here. Not what I was hoping for. But we can hopefully clear out everything except the Smith chain in this area. Right now. Hopefully we will not have to come back. Steal this key and then head back to the front of this dungeon. Watch this be a small key. We didn't need to. Yep. So we didn't need to go steal that key. I stole it in case there was no small key and we can get through this door. Just to make it easier to route the front of this place. Tons of small keys. Okay. So that was required. So now I'm thinking Pod Eastern after we finish up here. If we find a fire source, even better. Oh, there's our boots. Big 20 means boots. Since this mode started with boots, item gets replaced in the item pool by a big 20. Speaking of 20, there's another. We have that much money and we've already hit Zora, so swimming in cash. All the 20s. So there is an item in Dark Cross. So we have the key, and I'm pretty sure we've seen the map. Yeah. I'm not going to get it now. It's not in logic, but something to note. So now we don't want to start there. We want to start at my house. Potentially orphan catfish right now. So what do we need? Fire rod, hookshot, flute. I mean, logically, lamp. That's actually it, I think. It's actually a relatively short list for this point in the game. Yeah, we'll grab it. Just with the Dark Pod potentially coming up. Never gonna be a wrong decision to grab another fairy. A little bit more margin for error there. We haven't hit Saha yet, so we'll do that. Fill up on hearts too, which is nice. High frames. Kiki didn't want to follow. There we go. Gonna do Eastern first. Just because. We happen to find this is an easier dungeon to do in the dark. So if we happen to find some kind of fire source, it'll make pod that much easier. Big key to start. Don't hate that. So there's a chance we could skip the big key chest entirely. Alright, first item, 20 roops. I think this mode is co-op in the Beer League. I think this is one of the co-op modes. Now that I think about it. I think it's this is co-op, and the Animizer is co-op. And then AD Keys is single, and whatever the other mode is. I honestly don't remember. I forgot we were doing this in the dark. Yeah, this is one of the first dark rooms that I learned. Probably the second dark room was getting through this section of Eastern. The upcoming section took a little bit, but it's really just getting to know where the Igor is. Once you do that, yep, there we go. Then you bait him, do that. You hear the key drop. Get lucky and kill the second Igor. And get up the stairs. Pretty smooth. And only shot, what, 5 arrows? What a bargain. So whatever we get here is out of logic. As was the 50 bucks in the big chest. One more. There we go. So no logic there anyways. Doesn't matter. But we get a crystal anyways. So if we get nothing in pod, it might be worth it to do Catfish. Could also sequence break the entirety of Death Mountain. And then we have Smith Chain. Could also sequence break Ice. That I don't love at this point. I'd rather, if I'm going to sequence break, I'd rather sequence break the mountain. just given the equipment. Hopefully go into ice with the hook shot, ideally. If we have the hook shot, I'd consider doing ice. But as it is, we'll see what's in pod. Usually there's a minimum of 3 items, usually 4 in the back. It's been all small keys so far. Here in the front. There's guaranteed to be at least 4. Alright, there's ether. That's one of our items. Be 5 in here. Yeah, we can grab a little bit of arrows in here. Not a ton, but some. Big key, and this will be a small key right here. So 1 item so far, and 1 dungeon item. Reset the room here. Do a little bit of that. I could hammer you up here, but without the lamp, I'm gonna hold off. Alright, so that key. So there's 1 more small key, and these 2 checks at the moment out of logic. That's our other small key, which means that Harmless Hellway is going to have an item. Or a non-key, I guess. It could be the compass at this point. But we've got to check it. Alright, where are we here? There we are. That's our first item, and that's not a bad one. Alright, where did we get caught? We have to go up. Okay, so we're back over there. There we go. Now we should be at... Yep, perfect. Okay. So 1 more item in this dungeon, and it is on Helma. So we're going to be doing this in the dark. Not ideal, but not impossible. We can grab more arrows here. We can give the turtle room a try. I mean, again, we have 2 fairies. Which means we have an extra 14 hearts on top of the, what, 9 we have currently? Plus we have red mail. That's 4. That's 5. And that's 6. All told, not too bad. Get that. We can just kind of walk, dash, whatever. And we're on Helmasaur King. Love this song, by the way. Thank you, Tempered Sword, for making that much easier. Yeah, so now we have options. All right, so Ice Rod was required, so we're gonna find that anyways. We just happened to get it early. So sequence breaking that, maybe we get into TR a little bit earlier. Maybe. So I am going to go up and do Catfish. Just because I don't know when else we would do it at this point. And then it's either we sequence break Death Mountain, or we do Smith Chain stuff. So Hammer Pegs, Smith, and Purple Chest. That's all we have left logically at this point. I mean, can we go into any dungeons? We've already been into Skullwoods. We've done everything we can there. We've beaten Thieves. Logically can't get into Ice. Logically can't get into Hera. I don't think there's any dungeons we can get into, which means it's in the overworld somewhere. And technically, it's not up, like, it's not logically up on Death Mountain. But if it's the lamp that gets us to Death Mountain, we don't need that yet. Of course, if it's right here, then great. Alright, so Catfish was a dud. I'm going to sequence break the mountain. Feeling bold. I'm hoping I find the flute, which will make the Smith Chain that much easier. Or at least quicker. This is the first dark room I learned. He says as he falls. There it is. We missed the up. This one I actually know better, because when we get the flute, we can come in from this way. So I actually do that second half much more often than I do the first. Again, so we can potentially finish Hera. Third time charm? Yes. We could potentially finish Hera, but not definitively if we need to access the basement. We can grab this, because why not? Just free health. Alright, so we can beat this place. This might be leaving an item behind, potentially. Okay. Hmm. It's an interesting item. So that gets us into desert. It also lets us check either tablet. And that's our second item. So easy checks there. So this will be whatever, map, compass, small key, doesn't matter. So logically, our checks are still Smith chain. That's what we have access to at this point. Logically, but so much density up here to sequence break. Like I said, if it's the lamp down there, then we should be fine for a while. I'd love to find the flute up here, which would confirm that the lamp is one of those checks. But if we find the lamp up here, then we know it's the flute on one of those checks, and we're going to have to go get that pretty soon. You know what? We're going to have to open this anyways. So let's just open it now. Maybe we can even open the entrance to Turtle Rock. 2/3 chance. No, we need Quake. So, nothing doing there. Alright, so that, once we find access to Death Mountain, that puts all our flippers stuff into logic, which I don't think had anything. Shovel, I guess, was the one thing. One check here. Always funny when it's the hook shot, but that's our 4th bottle. I don't think that was anything. Okay. So now we can get into TR. Still Fire Rod away from really being able to do much in there. Might be worth a check since we're up here, though. I've definitely seen the Fire Rod in that check before. Okay. So that... doesn't really put anything into logic because we don't have logical. We got the flippers up here. So going into ice, sequence breaks. Yeah, it was 20 rupees, so we don't care about that. I think it's worth checking out what's in here. At least in that first check, and then we can get out of here. So if it's a Fire Rod, we can beat this. Not sure why I'm resisting the Smith stuff. I really just want to find the flute, I think. But the Smiths have to have some kind of logical access to this mountain. Okay. So before we do ice, let's at least... There's two of them that we can check relatively quickly. I just want to know what our access is. So if it's... Actually, it really doesn't matter. So it's going to put Ice Palace in logic. I just want to have it. We're going to need that hammer. What we can do is turn in the purple chest and then scoot over to Ice Palace. I also could have checked Hookshot Cave while I was up there, which is what I like. I know I have to go back up anyways, and it's not in logic technically. But while I was there, I probably should have done it. Could have mirrored out of TR. That would have been the smart play if I was thinking. Alright, so it was the lamp. So now we are fully in logic. I'm actually going to pivot and take care of desert before we do ice. So we need Fire Rod and Flute for go mode. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So this will be our other 5/6. And we're fully in logic at this point. We do this, then we do ice. Then probably into swamp, I would think. Depending on what we find. Great. Second item here. Nope, it's on the boss. So this is not going to be the greatest fight, but Gold Sword on this fight is going to be pretty clutch. I can use Ice Rod too. Which I'll probably do. Might as well use Ice Rod here, right? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Could have been a lot worse. Oh, it's a fire. Okay. Okay. That is interesting. We're Flute for go. Always fun when it's Flute for go. I mean, not really, but there are worse things to have, I guess. So this will be our, what, 5th crystal? Okay, so no items yet in the first 2 items places we've checked. All right, we're in go. I'm not sure why it says TR is not green, but pretty sure we can beat it. So the only pendant dungeons that we need... Oh, I need the big key. Oh, no, I don't. I have it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. That was about as good as it could have been. Why is it saying TR is not... Why is it saying TR is not beatable? Fully beatable. Confused. Whatever. Not gonna worry about it. I know I can beat it. The go mode was what, 101? Give or take? Not too bad. This is actually pretty quick. Right, I have Samaria. I have both rods. I can get it. Like, I don't know why it's not showing as green on this tracker. But all good. Yeah, Thieves gave us half magic, which is nice. Not required, but nice. It's gonna be better if we... That's Quake. It'll be even better if we don't find silvers. Actually, to that end, I'm probably gonna grab a blue potion just in case. So we're just on a big key hunt here. Just missed. Will it be a Godmire, or even a Demi-Godmire? Not a Godmire. Demigod Mire, though. We will take that. So this will be a quick mire. I think I screwed it up. I did. Alright, that's fine. Whatever. I never hit the switch. So I can skip that. Go right here. All right. Perfect. Perfect. I meant to release the bee. It's alright, we can grab 2 potions and keep the fairy, I guess. No big deal. So now 2 blues and a fairy. Probably overkill, but what are you gonna do? Really confused as to why it's showing up yellow on the tracker. It's more a bee thing. But I feel pretty good about this one. Get into GT, hopefully somewhere around like 113, 114. So we're looking at probably like a low to mid 120. Assuming we don't screw up too badly. Alright, let's see what we get. We already have 1 small key. We're looking for big key here. Not yet. There's our big key. Okay, so we don't need to check lava chest. Probably check the big chest. Yeah, this one wasn't too bad. The only time sink really was going into thieves. But it was early enough that I feel like most people are going to do that. They might not full clear. If they didn't full clear, they won't get half magic. Half magic is, again, nice to have. Looking for one more small key. There it is. We can skip Laser Bridge. Love being able to skip laser. I could have skipped big chest too. Gone a little bit quicker. Gold sword should make this a pretty easy fight. Yep, pretty easy fight. We like that. Alright, that is 7 crystals, right? I didn't count wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So unless I mismarked. But I don't think it did. Yeah, so we didn't touch swamp at all. We went into thieves when we didn't need to. But we'll get into GT at a pretty reasonable 114 and change. And by pretty reasonable, I mean that's pretty good. We should be looking at like 10 minutes from now being done, give or take. Depending on how far into GT this big key is. That's a small key, we'll take that. So, just big key away here. We got small keys. We're fine there. Is Hope Room the answer? Could be. Nope. That was pretty smooth. The Shroomy Boy. Alright, so it's not on right side, unless it's on Tile Room. I'm gonna say it's in Rando Room. That's my guess. Of course, it could be before then. We got, what, one check? Could also be after that, too. There's a bunch of checks after it. Yeah, I don't see that chest too often. See it in Random Room a decent amount. Yep. All that, and we got our second small key, which is nice. So now we can climb. So 117.35-ish. And we have plenty of arrows. I can just FaceTime these. What am I doing? Not sure what I was messing around with in that first room. I guess Igor's one. Alright, time for some gauntlet. Yeah, Zax just finished. GG's. It's about what I figured. Usually a couple of minutes behind him. That's a pretty good gauntlet, actually. Not the best Lanmo 2 fight, but we got through it. I didn't even pick up the magic. Not that I need it. I should be fine. I should have enough magic to get through without having to pick up the refill before torches 2, I guess. Yeah, plenty of magic. Not gonna look for silvers, not worried. Not worried about silvers. Not with gold sword. We'll get the hint in a couple of minutes. Alright, so no cape, but we have Burna if we need it. Probably easier without it, but we'll see. Depends on the positioning. That's a double. Just a single. I missed. Alright. Single there. Single. We just got a ton of singles. Ton of singles. Whatever. We're through. It's still gonna be a pretty good time. At 124, low 125. Somewhere in there. No. Probably somewhere in the 124 range. It's about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, so somewhere in the low 124s. Four, 5, 6. 1 for good measure. Alright, we got the hit. 1 round of fire bats. That's fine. What was Zax's time? I'll look after. There was an ice. I mean, I could have had those. I didn't, but I could have. I wonder what check they were in ice. Sure, somebody found them. Ah, dang it. There we go. That's better. I mean, when you miss the fire rod shot, it doesn't help. And you're too early on that. Timing's just a touch off on this fight. Alright, we got him. Okay, so Zax finished at a 118.32, and then Amphail is 121.56. So we're gonna theoretically come in third unless John snipes me here. No, third place. Not bad. Hey, Zax, GG's to you as well. It's a great time. Thank you for the GG's for me. Bow was Freezar chat. Yeah, Flute was my go mode, so the other bow was in Skullwoods in the pinball room, which was the only bow I got. I got the flute in Ice Palace and just beelined it. Didn't check anything else. Yeah, the only really time wasting thing that I did was Thieves. That had I think it had half magic was the only thing. Ice Rod was go. Oh, that was on Helmasaur, right? I think. Yeah. I ended up doing Pod and Eastern Dark. And then I sequence broke Death Mountain Dark before I got the lamp on the Smith. Yeah, half magic was in the basement where you pick up blind. And that was the only thing worth anything in Thieves. The rest of it was junk. So, good job skipping the back, I guess. Just arrows on Ped. Yeah, I mean, going through Thieves was going through Thieves was a little bit of a time waste, but the rest of it was good. Skipped all of Mire while still missing the Ice Rod. Yeah, that works. I got lucky that I could just go mode it because Flute was my go mode, so I didn't even have to worry about it. Yeah, I mean, if I had not sequence broken Death Mountain and gotten that lamp first, I probably might have been a little bit faster. Because I would have only had to do one mountain climb. Well, actually, I guess if I fake flippered to ice, it would have only been one. Not sure if I would have done that or not, but John just finished 128.18, so we all finished within 10 minutes of each other. This is a pretty jetty seed, though. I didn't even realize I PB'd. How about that? That's kind of cool. Yeah, so I think I just put off the Smith chain for too long to get that lamp. Is what it is. I'm actually not that unhappy with it. Got too fancy with the sequence breaks, but outside of that, it was pretty good. All right, I was gonna go raid John, but he's done, so we'll just end it here. GG's again, Zax, Amphalis, John. It was a fun race. Good seed, whoever rolled it. And I will talk to everybody later. Have a good night.